It's not necessarily a compliment. It definitely implies a complete lack of character.
You
But
can't just give him a compliment.
he's spineless and will do anything he's told, and that's incredibly valuable.
That is a beautiful thing to say. How about you?
You're welcome.
10 seconds.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Take that as you will.
I look back at my life, and all I see are the messes I made.
Hi, I'm Javier Ibarreche, and I'm here with Anthony STARR and CHACE CRAWFOR from the show The Voice. How you guys doing?
Good.
Great.
So glad to be in Mexico.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you first, this question is for the both of you. This show has never been about heroes and villains. It's more about complex individuals who do things.
Yeah.
However, some characters are closer to heroes than they are to villains, and the balance seems to change. Where do you think Homelander and the Deep are right now in that scale? Closer to which side?
Oh, villain from the, from the outlook from the audience, right? I think it's definitely probably veering more
Towards the villain.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. You see, that's the thing about the show is that's always been a question. What is a hero?
Right.
Because you could argue, the people with superpowers in this show are not the heroes.
Right.
Obviously, and it's so. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you can say Homelander is anything but a villain. I don't think you can say he's the good guy.
Right.
Right. The good guy.
Yeah. I mean, I can't.
Because speaking of that, at the end of last season, Homelander he finally let go of control. He showed the world his worst side, and the world seemed to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that somehow a reflection of anything in our reality? Is that somehow like a mirror of something in the world today?
Yeah, I mean, the show's always had parallels with the real world right from season one. There's always been a little mirrors and dovetails here and there. But one thing that I love about the show is that, and you said this, is the show is not. It's not just about superheroes and good and bad people. It's about complex characters evolving and growing and learning in this complex environment. And I think the world is complicated. The world is a difficult place to navigate on the best of days, and I think that's why people respond to the show, because the complexity that's in the show reflects well in the complexity of the world in general. And people are struggling at the moment, man. There's a lot of people having a really hard time making sense of what's going on out there. So I think that's why the show is sitting where it's sitting in popular culture.
Speaking of this, complexity, your character, the Deep, is sometimes he seems to be like the butt of the joke, but he's also a guy that feels a lot. We see him have a really bad time.
He does. Thank you.
As an actor, what do you feel more comfortable with? Playing the humorous aspect of the character or the more dramatic side of it? Where do you find yourself more comfortable?
I like them both, to be honest with you. I think good comedy comes from that dramatic conflict as well, right? I mean, I know sometimes I push it a little bit to see if I can make something in the cut on the screen, right? Sometimes it's okay, this scene is for jokes, but that comedic stuff is always born from that conflict of trying. He's always trying to do this thing, whatever it is, save the dolphin or do the right thing.
Save the dolphin.
You know what I mean? It's
that worked out well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Such a good moment.
It was great, save Lucy the whale, but the dramatic stuff has been fun to play too. There's definitely some fun, more intense moments.
Right.
Some great moments in season 4. I think the arc.
There is.
Season 4, some really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my most favorite fun. Fun might not be the right word, but it was fun, I guess.
Fun to play.
There's a few intense scenes. It was fun to play this year.
Right.
That they kind of threw me these curveballs, and it was a lot of fun. It's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of the acting work specifically, in last season, the episode of Herogasm was pivotal for Homelander because this was the first time that he lost a fight. It was the first time, or he was close to losing a fight.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about that moment at the end where it's just Homelander and a mirror? As an actor, what was that scene like emotionally?
So first of all, I think there's I would go one step further with the description of that. It's not just losing a fight; it's losing his life. So that's a deep, deep thing. That's never happened to the guy before.
Right.
So that really rattled his cage. And the scene in the, I think it was, so the scene in the mirror happened
There's a scene in the mirror that's in silence, like in silence where you just
That's
stay
right,
upstairs
at
in
the
mirror
end.
at the end. Just
So that was, we had the option there to fill that with more noise, but we already know why he's there.
right.
And so I like, one of the things that I like as much as possible, and I mean, it doesn't always work, but you want to ask the question. You want to, rather than provide the answer, you ask the question. So I don't know
What is he saying to himself?
Yeah, that's the question is, oh, fuck, he's there doing it again. We know something along the same lines is going on, but we don't know what it is. And I think that's a little more interesting than going, the tendency might be to want to go in there and explain it and show again.
Right, because
But
we
don't.
already saw it before when he talks to
It's
himself.
more powerful. We know what's there. So it's a little more titillating for people to go, oh, he's doing it again.
Right.
But then also understand that this is a regular occurrence. This isn't something that is just a one-off. This has potentially always been happening. So it's another layer on the character.
Like that's the way he processes.
Yeah, I mean, he's back doing it again, which is even more bizarre and strange.
And your characters, like, we saw a peculiar relationship between Homelander and the Deep in this season. Like, one was on the top of the hierarchy, the other one at the very bottom. And their approach to life is generally different. I was wondering, like, what attribute of the Deep do you think Homelander could use in his life, and what attribute of Homelander do you think the Deep could use for their own benefit?
Yeah, what attribute of the Deep could you use?
Yeah, what could I use of the
You say
Deep?
something good about me. I say something good about
Say
you.
something nice about the Deep.
Talking to fucking fish. Yeah, I'm going to shift gears slightly. I'm sorry, I'm going to duck your question, but answer anything. I think one of the thing that is most compelling about the Deep from Homelander's perspective is his loyalty. Like, there's not many people for him that will just literally throw themselves on fire if he asks them to do whatever he wants. It's not necessarily a compliment. It definitely implies a complete lack of character.
You
But
can't just give him a compliment.
he's spineless and will do anything he's told, and that's incredibly valuable.
That is a beautiful thing to say. How about you?
You're welcome.
10 seconds.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Take that as you will.
I think he's jealous. I think there is a deep-seated jealousy of Homelander from the Deep's perspective. It kind of, manifests itself in him being a total pushover. But he kind of wants so badly to have validation from him as well as being jealous. So it's kind of like that pathetic thing, right? Where he fully recognizes Homelander as the all-powerful. That's why Homelander has the power. He can fly, he can laser, he can kill instantly, strength, and so he can't ever physically match up with power. So there's no real there's no real ever competition, and there never will be. So I think he realizes that, and also wants to hold his place in the Seven. I think the worst thing to happen to him would be kicked out. He was banished to Ohio or whatever, and sort of be like on the D-list and irrelevant. So he's got no real identity. He doesn't really know himself on a deeper level.
Oh boy.
See. We did it.
That's a nice way to do it.
I see what you did.
They're cutting me off because my time already run out. But guys, this is thank you so much for your time. I could be doing this for hours. Talking about
Thank you,
it.
buddy.
I'm a huge fan. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You're all fucking welcome.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.